The Sans Bois Mountains of southeastern Oklahoma are known for their dense forests and isolated, rocky terrain. In October 2009, this rugged landscape became the setting for one of the most puzzling disappearances in modern American history. Bobby Jamison, his wife Sherilynn, and their 6-year-old daughter Madyson packed up their white pickup truck and drove into the hills, looking to purchase a plot of land. They never walked out. A few days after they set off, local hunters spotted the family truck parked on a remote dirt road. It was locked, abandoned, and a grim scene waited inside. The family dog, a small Malshire named Maisie, was trapped in the cabin, severely malnourished but miraculously alive after surviving days without food or water. Beside the dog sat a collection of personal belongings that no one planning to vanish would willingly leave behind. Investigators found the family wallets, identification cards, cell phones, GPS device, and a bank bag containing $32,000 in cash. The presence of the money ruled out a standard robbery, forcing investigators to look deeper into the weeks leading up to the trip. What they uncovered was a family spiraling into deep psychological distress, or perhaps experiencing something far more sinister. Before leaving their home in Eufaula, Bobby and Sherilynn had spoken to their local pastor with an unusual request. They asked for special spiritual guidance, claiming their house was under siege by malevolent entities. They were convinced that at least 2 to 4 ghosts lived on their roof, and Sherilynn believed she had read a demonic Bible that caused spiritual warfare inside their home. When police examined the couple's cell phones, they recovered a home security video taken on the very morning they packed the truck. The footage was deeply unsettling. Bobby and Sherilynn walked back and forth from their house to the vehicle in a silent, rigid, trance-like state. They did not speak to one another, moving like automatons under a spell. Sometimes they would stop and stare blankly into the distance for minutes at a time before resuming their task. The physical evidence only added to the confusion. A long, disjointed letter written by Sherilynn was found in the truck, filled with angry rants aimed at her husband, though the couple still chose to travel into the mountains together. Police began chasing a wide web of conflicting theories to explain the tragedy. One angle centered on illegal drug activity. The Sans Bois Mountains were known to host hidden methamphetamine labs, and some theorists wondered if the family had stumbled upon an operation they were not supposed to see. The massive amount of cash in the truck and the couple's severe weight loss prior to the trip kept this theory alive, though no physical evidence of drugs was ever found in the vehicle or their home. Another investigation focused on Bobby's father, Bob Jamison Sr. Bobby had previously filed for a protective order against his father, alleging threats of physical violence. However, Bob Sr. was in poor health at the time of the disappearance and died just months later, leaving investigators with a dead end. Police even looked into rumors of a local cult operating in the mountains. A year before the disappearance, a man had stayed with the Jamisons and allegedly told Sherilynn that he belonged to a white supremacist group. Sherilynn, who had Native American heritage, reportedly threatened him with a gun to force him out of the house. Investigators wondered if this group had tracked the family into the woods for revenge, but no links could be proven. 4 years passed with no sign of the family. The elements and the wild terrain seemed to have swallowed them whole. Then, in November 2013, hunters walking through the brush found a grim answer just 3 miles from where the truck had been abandoned. Side by side, lying face down in the dirt, were the skeletal remains of Bobby, Sherilynn, and little Madyson. Because of the advanced decomposition of the bones, the medical examiner was unable to determine a definitive cause of death. There were no obvious signs of trauma, no broken bones from a fall, and no bullet holes, though a small hole in Bobby's skull was speculated by some to be a gunshot wound, a claim the coroner ultimately ruled inconclusive. The discovery did little to resolve the mystery. If they were fleeing a threat, why did they walk 3 miles deeper into the wilderness instead of using their truck? If they were lost, how did they remain together until the end, dying in a neat row? The Jamison case remains a haunting puzzle, balanced uncomfortably between a tragic psychological breakdown, a random act of human malice, and the dark, unexplained forces the family believed were hunting them.